Hi everyone, it's me Terry from the Yarnjoy podcast. Hope everybody is having a great weekend. This is the day before Easter, March 31st, 2018. And I just wanted to pop on here and make a quick video to let you know how I'm doing on meeting my crafty goals for this year. Okay, so at the beginning of this year, I made a crafty goals video. Okay, and I in that video I listed the 8 crafty goals that I wanted to make for this upcoming year, and I also mentioned that I wanted to make a quarterly update video to kind of go over those goals and to see if I'm meeting them or working towards them, or maybe I haven't even did anything with them at all and I need to be reminded about it. So let's go through them, shall we? Okay, so the first one, I was wanting to make I had a goal of making a Christmas blanket that I would have to be able to use as some of my Christmas decorations for this upcoming year. And so did I meet that goal? Well, I am working toward the goal. I did find a Christmas character. I'm doing the Christmas character blanket, which involves doing 1 square per month. But then by the end of the year, I will have my Christmas blanket all finished up and ready to be put out on my couch. So I just want to show you that I have completed 3 of the squares for January, February, and March. Okay, so here's January square, and February square right here is the Christmas tree, and the snowman for March. So January, February, and March. So I am on track with that. So let's go to the next goal to see how I'm doing with that one. The second goal I was wanting to do was to tally my items that I was making under categories to see how many of each type of items I make throughout the year. So I am keeping track of that. So far, I've made 3 throws, afghans, that sort of thing. 1 baby blanket. I've made 81 squares. I've made 2 shawls. I have made 3 hats. I have made 7 amigurumis, or stuffed characters, stuffed animals. And I have made 1 wall decor. I'm kind of grouping that together as far as wreaths, wall hangings, anything like that. So as you can see right there is my garden flag that I made with the bee on it. So that was the 1 wall decor I've made for this year. And I have made 4 project bags. Now that's sewing projects. Okay, so I have been tallying them. So it's very impressive to see the numbers, thinking I have made 81 squares since January. So I am glad I'm doing that, because I think at the end of the year the numbers will be pretty impressive, or for myself. I mean, I just think it's fun to see what I did through the year. Okay, so number 3 of my goals was to make at least 6 items from patterns that I already own. Now that goes along with the Facebook group that I belong to that's called Stitch Your Library, where we've been encouraging each other to use patterns that we have in our pattern library to use. I mean, how many of us buy patterns and pattern books and then they sit there and you never do any projects out of them? I know I do. So anyway, have I met that goal? Well, I'm working towards it. I am working on, there's 1 pattern that I am doing right now that has been in my pattern library for quite a while, and that is the panels and squares afghan that I'm making for a wedding gift that I've been showing just here lately. It's not complete, but I am working on it. So that is just 1 thing that was in my pattern library that I haven't just recently got the pattern and then started making it. So I was wanting to make at least 6 of patterns that I have already. So I need to just keep that in mind, that I've gotten 1 and I need to do 5 more, at least 5 more. I mean, I got the year, but that'll make me look through some of my older patterns and find some that that I had that I've forgotten about. So anyway, so next goal was to learn a new technique for join as you go. Okay, so I have the technique I want to do. It's a tutorial video that Earl Grey Crochet, hi Elizabeth, had a few months ago, where she was joining granny squares together, and I was wanting to try that technique out. I have not done it yet, but I do plan on doing it. So that is a goal that I have not worked on or met yet. Okay, so number 5. Okay, so number 5 is to finish a mitered square blanket that I was knitting, that I had been knitting for quite a while, just out of my scraps. And I don't even think I showed it to you during my Crafty Goals video, because I hadn't worked on it in such a long time, and I had forgotten to pull it out to show you before I started filming the video. Well, I have not worked on it at all, but I have pulled it out, so I will show it to you now. Okay, this is a mitered squared blanket, so mitered squares, but they're all different sizes, and I'll link sorry, allergies. I will link the video where I got the tutorial on how to plan out my squares. I mapped it all out to show the different sizes, stitch sizes, and so they're different sized squares, but they all fit together. So let me show you. And I've just used scraps, all different sizes, and you see I have lots of tails I haven't weaved in. But it's multiple size squares. I believe the largest, which would be this one right here, is 48 by 48 stitches, and then down to these small ones, which are 8 stitch by 8 stitch mitered squares. And I mapped it all out, so it's kind of a geometric type thing. Good for math geeks, I guess. But I have it all mapped out. It's very messy. I think I've spilled stuff on it and whatever. But as you can see, all the little places I put triangles, those are the ones that I have done, and you just kind of build onto each other. And so I am almost up to the top corner there to fill in. And so I've got stitches, the 48 stitch squares are the largest ones. I've got some that are 32, 24, 16, and the little ones are 8 stitch mitered squares. Anyway, now that I pulled it out and could see how colorful this is, maybe that will motivate me to pull it out and work on it some more, because it is definitely a very colorful patchwork piece, isn't it? Okay, so that's the only knitted project, and like I said, I haven't worked on it forever, so okay, let's see. So next goal, which is number 6, was to finish with the 365 Days of Granny Square project. As you know from my videos, I have been making quite a few of those. I think I had calculated out that if I do at least 6 squares per week, that I will finish, I think, even before the end of the year with the 365 squares. And so, with my tally sheet here, I've done 81 squares. So, and I believe that I am on track as far as making 6 squares per week. In fact, I think there was one week that I just was real ambitious about finishing, so I could finish one of the blankets, and I did 9 squares in that week. So I'm up a little bit. Give me a little cushion. So I am up with that goal. We're going quite nicely with that. Okay, and then let's see, goal number 7 was to be finished with Christmas 2018 gifts making by Thanksgiving. Okay, so have I been working on Christmas gifts yet? I am working on one, and that is my summer shawl that I have just been showing you, in fact, past couple of weeks. That will be a Christmas gift. And I do have 2 more lined up behind this to work on. So I did talk to my sister-in-law, and I was had the idea of making a blanket or Afghan throw or whatever for one each, one for my niece and one for my nephew. And so I did contact her, and I found out what colors they had in their rooms. And so my nephew has got patriotic colors, red, white, blue, flags, that sort of stuff. And so I already have a pattern in my library, so that will be a Stitch Your Library project that I want to do for that. And then my niece has the grays, shades of gray and white and baby pink combination. And so I'm finding some yarn for that, and so I will be settling. I think I have a pattern in mind for that, but we'll see if I do that one, or I might settle for something else. I'm not sure. But anyway, so I am working toward Christmas gifts. Everything, of course, all the Christmas gifts won't be handmade that I make or that I give, probably, but at least I am working toward that goal to get some taken care of. So I'm pretty happy with how I'm doing with that goal, I guess. Okay, and then the last goal that I had was to make quarterly videos to update on the progress of my goals. So here is my quarterly video, number 1 for the first quarter. So that's coming out well. I mean, here it is. I'm doing it. So I'm glad. I think it's going to help. It's going to help me to think of these goals and to remember, oh yeah, I was wanting to, learn this technique, or oh yeah, I really need to be working on another Christmas gift, or stuff like that, just to kind of keep it in the back of my mind. Besides, I do have a baby shower gift, a baby blanket that I need to make. But after I make the panels and squares Afghan for a wedding gift, there's a baby shower that I need to make a few more, some other gifts for. One of the gifts, of course, is the sleeping robot, which is right there on my board back there, sitting on something. Anyway, so I will be needing to make a baby blanket for that, and then I will get on to these Christmas blankets as well. So things are going good with those goals. So how are your goals going? I know there's quite a few that did make some crafty goal videos, and I would like to see how you're doing on them, if you're meeting them or have forgotten about them. So that's one thing good about writing things down, that just to try to keep it in your mind. I have that whiteboard right back there on the wall. Ooh, I'm pointing there. Anyway, and I have it dry erase board, and I've got my tallying marks on that to show where I'm at on all these things. So, okay, I'm gonna go so everybody can enjoy their weekend, and I need to prepare for lunch that I'm gonna be having tomorrow. My son and daughter-in-law are coming over, and we're gonna after we go to our Easter church service, then we're gonna have lunch here, and so I need to prepare for that and just enjoy the great weather. Although I am doing some organizing in here too, so quite a few things I want to get done today. So I will talk to everybody later. You will see a video for me, another one, on this upcoming Thursday, which will be my regular episode, which I believe will be episode 45. I think so. Okay, so everybody have a great spring, great Easter, and we will see you again just the end of next week, in a few days. See you later, everybody. Bye.